Now, as already alluded, this Higgins affair is not going to go away, and nor should it. The government will be hoping that this 2-week session of the Parliament before heading into a recess might enable the issue to leave the public mind. Not likely. The Prime Minister has denied any coordination between his office and anyone associated with Brittany Higgins. It does make sense to me. Higgins and her partner David Shiraz planned with that journalist Lisa Wilkinson. Wilkinson, of course, the person who couldn't pronounce or didn't want to pronounce Jacinta Price's name, Jacinta Nampijinpa Price. And the delightful put down by Wilkinson, and what's her name, Nampa Pinjumba? This from someone who calls herself a credible journalist. If someone from the right of politics spoke that way, the Wilkinsons of this world would be all over them. But Wilkinson, when she saw Jacinta was pre-selected in the Northern Territory, responded, that's the thing. It was, and that was. As soon as I looked and I thought, you're joking. And both Wilkinson and this Shiraz, so politically inept that they didn't know that Jacinta's Senate attempt was not a safe seat. But Wilkinson's producer chimed in mocking Liberal attitudes on race, saying, see, we know brown people. And Shiraz fired back, it's like I'm not racist, I have a black friend. And Wilkinson joined in, and our cleaner is black. No sanctions for these people. It's astonishing, isn't it? If you're on the left, you can say what you like, charming stuff. And these people were discussing whether there were friendly MPs or Labor, including Albanese, to be enlisted to publicise Higgins' case. Use the allegations to damage Scott Morrison and his government. An analysis of Hansard transcripts shows that in early 2021, Mr Albanese and his shadow frontbench went after Prime Minister Morrison with dozens of questions and parliamentary motions relating to his handling of Higgins' rape allegations. In the 3 months after Higgins' allegations of sexual assault were made, Albanese asked 18 questions about Morrison's handling of the case, most of them in the parliamentary sitting fortnight immediately after Higgins' allegations were aired on Channel 10. Most of the questions were aimed at Morrison and the claims that he'd failed to protect women. Now, it's stretching the borders of credibility that these questions could have been asked without some form of collusion with the Higgins team. I have a lot of time for Tanya Plibersek, but she asked a lot of questions, over a dozen. And on February 18, 2021, she quoted Higgins, saying, quote, "The continued victim-blaming rhetoric by the Prime Minister is personally very distressing to me and to countless other survivors," unquote. Catherine King asked 8 questions of Prime Minister Morrison, mostly about Higgins' claims that Morrison had, Prime Minister, quote, "undermined and discredited her loved ones," unquote. Now remember, this is the same Higgins who on March 26, 2021 boasted, I told you this earlier tonight, that the then Prime Minister Morrison is, quote, "about to be effed over. We've got him."